So here's the good news. Justice League 2 could very well be part of the new DCEU's future. It might not happen immediately, but it's not off the table either. James Gunn and Peter Safran, who are now steering the ship for the DC Universe, have been busy cooking up a long-term roadmap, an 8 to 10-year plan to be exact. That's quite a timeline, and while it might sound like the Justice League's return is way down the road, it's actually a strong sign that they're planning something truly meaningful. Because when you take that kind of time, it means you're not rushing into anything. And that usually leads to better stories, stronger character arcs, and bigger payoffs. Interestingly, one of the cooler parts of Gunn and Safran's plan is their interest in exploring the Elseworld stories from the comics. These are the alternate timeline, non-canon adventures that often become fan favorites, like Kingdom Come, The Golden Age, or JLA Created Equal. That opens the door to telling some bold, unique stories with the Justice League, not just another version of the same team-up we've seen before. It means we might get to see these heroes in totally new roles or situations, which is a pretty exciting way to bring them back. Now, a common question fans have is whether we're even going to get a Justice League movie in this new version of the DCU. And while there isn't an official film announcement just yet, there's actually a lot of evidence that something is building. Because while the iconic team hasn't reassembled in live action yet, they've already popped up in the DCU in a surprising way, through animation. Creature Commandos, the first official release in Gunn's DCU, featured an animated appearance from several Justice League heroes. It wasn't just a blink-and-you-miss-it moment either. Even though none of them had lines, characters like Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and even Starfire and Booster Gold all made a dramatic appearance in a vision sequence. It's a pretty bold way to introduce them in this new continuity. In that scene, the sorceress Circe, voiced by Anya Chalotra, shows Amanda Waller a dark future ruled by Princess Ilana Rostovich, where the Justice League is defeated in brutal fashion. It's not exactly a hopeful vision, but it shows us something important. These heroes exist in the new DCU, and they're already part of its larger mythology. So even if their official team-up is still a ways off, they've already been seeded into the universe, which is a smart move for long-term storytelling. Plus, there's been another major clue dropped in the upcoming Superman movie. According to newly revealed merchandise, the film will feature a group of heroes that call themselves the Justice Gang. This team includes characters like Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl, basically a bunch of unique and interesting characters that aren't usually the first names you'd think of when it comes to the Justice League. But that's kind of the point. Because of Gunn's style and the way he made lesser-known characters beloved in Guardians of the Galaxy, this Justice Gang could be the first step toward a more official Justice League down the road. What's especially interesting is that Superman, played by David Corenswet, is working alongside these heroes in the film. While it doesn't look like he's a full member of the gang, the fact that he's fighting side by side with them suggests that he's naturally going to become a kind of leader. And once you've got Superman, the rest usually follows. It wouldn't be surprising if, by the end of the movie, this Justice Gang decides to take things to the next level, maybe even rebranding themselves as the Justice League. That would make a lot of sense, because when you think about the word League, it really aligns with Superman's character. It's about unity, about hope, about bringing people together for a greater purpose. And since Gunn's vision for the DCU seems to be building outward from Superman's perspective, it's fitting that Clark Kent could be the one who officially kicks off the League. Another thing to consider is how the casting and character choices support this idea. Along with Corenswet's Superman, the movie includes characters like Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, and the Engineer. These characters might not be as instantly recognizable as Batman or Flash, but they add something fresh and exciting to the mix. And this approach aligns perfectly with Gunn's interest in combining familiar faces with lesser-known heroes. It allows the new DCU to feel both nostalgic and new at the same time. And even though there's no concrete announcement yet about Justice League 2, there's a deeper layer of hope for fans of Zack Snyder's vision. That's because Snyder had already mapped out a full arc for the Justice League, with 2 sequels planned after Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2021. These sequels, especially Justice League 3, were supposed to explore some pretty epic themes. For instance, Superman's role wasn't just as a fighter, but as a unifier, someone who would lead humanity and his fellow heroes in the ultimate battle against Darkseid. Snyder's plan also involved closing the loop on some lingering plot threads from Man of Steel, especially the concept of the Kryptonian Codex. This idea, introduced in Man of Steel, was that Kal-El carried the DNA of his people within him, offering the potential to rebuild Kryptonian society. It's a plot device that was never fully resolved, so there's still room for it to be explored again, whether in a future Justice League movie or another project. And thematically, Snyder's arc was meant to fulfill Jor-El's prophecy that Superman could be an ideal to strive towards, a symbol of hope for Earth. In the final battle against Apocalypse, Batman would have sacrificed himself to defeat Darkseid, and Superman's son, named Bruce Kent, would eventually become the new Batman. That kind of storytelling isn't just epic, it's emotionally rich and ties everything together in a meaningful way. While those specific films may or may not happen, the ideas behind them still resonate, and they could inspire whatever form the next Justice League project takes. So, when you add all of this up, the slow but deliberate rollout of DCU content, the hidden Justice League cameos in animation, the toy reveals hinting at an evolving superhero team, and Superman being positioned as the moral center, it starts to feel like Justice League 2 isn't just possible, it's inevitable. It may look different from what fans initially expected, and it might include a different mix of heroes, but the spirit of the Justice League is clearly alive in the new DCU. Although we're still in the early stages of this reboot, the direction is encouraging. Gunn's track record with ensemble casts and character dynamics is strong, and if anyone can reinvent the Justice League in a fresh way, it's probably him. Plus, with fans still passionately campaigning for the Snyderverse and those unresolved storylines in the background, the momentum for another team-up movie hasn't gone away. It's just waiting for the right moment. In the meantime, we're already getting pieces of the puzzle. From Superman's growing circle of allies to the thematic groundwork being laid with characters like Amanda Waller and Cersei, all the signs point toward the Justice League returning when the time is right. And when they do, they might be more powerful, more unified, and more inspiring than ever before. Because even though the wait might be long, the build-up is shaping up to be worth it. Justice League 2 isn't just a distant possibility, it's part of the bigger story being told one chapter at a time. So fans can stay hopeful because the League is forming, even if it's happening slowly, and the DCU seems committed to doing it justice. Pun intended. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.